Opposition parties have walked out of the council meeting in the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Municipality, demanding the no motion of no confidence to take centre stage, as tabled in the council agenda. This follows the resumption of the council meeting that collapsed on February the 29th, resulting in chaotic scenes of EFF councillors charging at ANC councillors and the mayor's cell phone reportedly stolen in the ruckus. SABC News reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa has been following the story and now joins us in studio for an update. Mbalenhle, thank you so much for your time. I mean, you have been following the story and even the chaos that broke out the last time the council sat. Did this motion of no confidence take place?
Well, yes and no. Council was abruptly adjourned. The Speaker could not rule on what was happening in council at the time. Both the ANC and the DA had requested to amend the motion that was brought into council by Action SA. The amendments include the recognition of the party with the most seats, and that would be the ANC. And the other request was for council to consider dissolving council and perhaps going into an election, an early election, alongside the national and provincial elections. And the Speaker could not rule on whether or not this was possible legally, and said that she would need to get legal advice and therefore adjourned the meeting for the purposes and intentions of getting that legal opinion. So right now, all we know is that, you know, this council meeting is adjourned indefinitely or until that legal opinion becomes available. So it's hanging in the air.
And the last time, that meeting took place, at the center of it was the issue around the ANC and the EFF and their relationship, and they find themselves in this coalition. What is the coalition looking like at the moment? It's
very interesting that you and me, would use the words coalition, but both the ANC and the EFF do not use the words coalition. We know that they're governing the city of Ekurhuleni together and other metros in Gauteng. However, they say that this is a working relationship and not a coalition, and that this was a relationship formed on the basis that they want to deliver services, but the cracks are clear to see, and they were clear to see during the last council meeting, where we saw the ANC seemingly showing intentions to support the motion brought by Action SA and asking for that amendment, which is what sparked the ruckus, as you mentioned in the intro there, and the chaos that then erupted, and which led to the council meeting being adjourned even before the vote could actually happen. But just going back to comments and the responses from some of the political parties, they are unhappy with the decision made by the Speaker of Council to abruptly adjourn council before the voting could happen. If the Action SA rather says that they were going to reject both of those amendments and would have preferred to continue with the voting.
At the same time, there is this report by the Auditor General. Do we know what's the latest coming out? I mean, I've been seeing so many mixed messages from various political parties. What is the actual report saying when it comes to the finances of the city of Ekurhuleni?
Certainly. Now, what we know about the city of Ekurhuleni is that it's enjoyed 3 consecutive clean audits. Right? And this year we've seen what the city manager describes as a slight regression. So there is a regression, which means that the city did not get an outright clean bill of health. However, they got an unqualified audit opinion with findings, and this means that they did not get a clean bill, clean audit like they have in the past. But this time around, the Auditor General has flagged some concerns, and these include the payment of contracts which have led to service delivery failures, where contractors are not paid on time, and therefore it means that a certain service suffers in the process, and so on. So these are some of the issues issues that have been raised, as well as the awarding of contracts and the bid adjudication process, which is a process that is undertaken to award a contract, the criteria. These are all of the things that were raised by the Auditor General, project management, and so on. So those are the issues, and the city manager saying that they have intentions to, they will fix those, and they have made a commitment to fix those, and they will therefore train those involved in those positions.
Last week we saw ratings, Moodys downgrading the Ekurhuleni Metro to junk status. Did you manage to speak to the city? What are they saying about this latest report?
Now, how ratings agencies work in any setup, in any setting, is that the country will request a credit rating, and they will employ a rating agency of their choice to rate them and give them a credit rating. In this instance, the city of Ekurhuleni says they did not approach Moodys. So this credit rating was somewhat unsolicited. And they said that their credit rating still remains above a junk status, and it is not below sub-investment grade. And this is evident in when you go to the JSE the JSE website, where you will see that they are still above investment grade.
All right, Mbalenhle, thank you so much for your time.